It happened in less than a second. The subway lurched, bodies slammed together, and a woman lost her balance, falling straight toward the floor. Before she hit, a strong arm caught her, steady and warm. She looked up, breathless. Her face inches from the stranger who had shielded her from the crush of the crowd. "Why do you feel familiar?" she whispered, confused. The single dad, Noah Bennett, froze. He didn't know her. At least he thought he didn't. But why did her question shake him so deeply? The subway doors hissed shut behind Harper Collins, sealing her into the crush of evening commuters. She pressed herself against a metal pole. Earbuds in, trying to disappear into the music. The city had a way of making you feel both suffocated and invisible at the same time. She'd been here 3 weeks. 3 weeks in a new apartment, a new neighborhood, a new life she was still trying to convince herself she wanted. The freelance design work kept her busy enough, but the silence in her apartment at night was louder than she'd expected. The train jolted forward, and Harper tightened her grip on the pole. Rush hour in the city was nothing like the suburbs she'd left behind. Bodies pressed together, strangers breathing the same stale air, everyone pretending not to exist. A few feet away, Noah Bennett stood with one hand wrapped around the overhead bar, the other holding a grocery bag. His shift at the electronics repair shop had run late, and he still needed to pick up Grace from the neighbor who watched her after school. His mind ran through the usual list. Dinner, homework, bath time, bedtime story. The rhythm of single parenthood had become automatic, but it never got easier. The subway lurched. Harper's hand slipped from the pole. Her bag swung wildly, headphones yanked from her ears, and suddenly the floor was rushing up to meet her. Then it wasn't. A strong arm caught her around the waist, pulling her upright before she could hit the ground. Harper gasped, her hands instinctively grabbing onto the stranger's jacket to steady herself. She looked up. The man holding her had dark eyes and a quiet face, the kind that didn't demand attention, but earned it anyway. His grip was firm but careful, like he was used to catching things that fell. For a moment, neither of them moved. The train rattled on. The crowd shifted, but Harper felt like the world had gone still. Her breath came in shallow bursts, her heart pounding harder than it should have from just a stumble. "Why do you feel familiar?" Harper whispered before she could stop herself. Noah's eyes widened slightly. He loosened his hold, letting her stand on her own, but he didn't step back. He didn't know what to say. He didn't know her. He was certain of that. But something in her voice, in the way she looked at him, made his chest tighten in a way he didn't understand. Noah started, then stopped. He shook his head slightly. "Are you okay?" Harper blinked, embarrassed heat flooding her face. She stepped back, smoothing down her jacket. "Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I said that." Noah picked up her bag from the floor and handed it to her. His fingers brushed hers for a second, and Harper felt that strange pull again, like a memory she couldn't quite place. "Thanks," Harper said quietly. Noah nodded. He wanted to say something else, but the words didn't come. The train began to slow, the automated voice announcing the next stop. The crowd shifted again, pushing them apart, and Harper turned away, clutching her bag. Like it was the only solid thing left in the world. The doors opened. People flooded out onto the platform, and Harper moved with them, her legs still shaky. She didn't look back. She told herself it didn't matter, just a stranger, just a moment. It didn't mean anything, but her hands were still trembling when she reached the stairs. Noah stayed on the train one more stop. His mind replaying the way she'd looked at him. Her question echoed in his head, quiet but insistent. "Why do you feel familiar?" He didn't have an answer. He wasn't sure he wanted one. 2 days later, Harper stood in the narrow hallway of her apartment building, fumbling with her keys. The cardboard box in her arms was heavier than it looked, filled with printer paper and design supplies she'd ordered online. She wedged it against the door frame and tried to twist the key with one hand. The box slipped. Harper lunged for it, but someone else caught it first. "Careful," a familiar voice said. Harper froze. She looked up and saw him. The man from the subway, the one who'd caught her when she fell. Noah held the box easily, his expression calm, but slightly surprised. He lived here in this building on this floor. You, Harper said, the word coming out more like an accusation than a greeting. Noah glanced at the apartment number on her door, then at his own just a few feet away. Looks like we're neighbors. Harper stared at him. Of all the buildings in the city, of all the floors, of all the doors, he lived right next to her. She let out a breath that was half laugh, half disbelief. You've got to be kidding me, Noah's mouth twitched, almost a smile. Apartment 305, he said, nodding toward his door. 304, Harper replied, finally managing to unlock hers. Noah stepped inside her doorway just far enough to set the box down on the floor, then stepped back into the hallway. Need help with anything else? Harper shook her head quickly. No, I'm good, thanks. But she didn't close the door right away. Neither did he move to leave. There was a beat of awkward silence. The kind that happens when two people know they should say something but don't know what. I'm Noah, he said finally. Noah Bennett. Harper. Harper Collins. Noah nodded. Welcome to the building. I guess. Harper smiled a little. Thanks. It's quieter than I expected. It's not bad, Noah said. He shifted his weight, his hand resting on the doorframe. I live here with my daughter, Grace. She's 7. Harper's. Read.